Greetings, fellow Earth travelers. Oblyx here, coming at you today from the new frontier. How y'all doing today? Man, it's a great day to be out here on the new frontier, man. I am excited. We got a good one today. We have been ignoring our Immersive Engineering since like day one, man. We put it out there and we said we're gonna do this thing, and then we didn't. We just kind of let it sit, and we let it sit, and we let it sit, and yeah, ain't no good. So let me get a couple things together so we can go work on that, and I will get right back with you.
Shut up and sit down.
Alright, folks. So the next step, if you remember from 1,000 episodes ago, more like 8, we made this guy. We even automated him slightly to collect this creosote oil. Good night, I am. Shut up! Good grief. Just ruckus making creatures. Jeez Louise. So anyway, we made this guy. Remember, we throw some coal in here and he turns into coke. Well, the next step is we need a blast furnace. We're going to set that right here. And I got the stuff inside for us to do that. And we did wait off of day one because we needed some blaze powder. Well, we've got our nether now, so we can do that. So we need 27 of those. And our trusty hammer. And let's go ahead and grab, if I can remember where I stuck it. I could just use our fancy canna and say, where did I stick this? Apparently I have it in 2 places. Oh. Well, there you go. There's our coke. That thing had me looking for coke brick. Now, why am I grabbing all that, knowing I can only do one at a time? Oh, good grief. Sometimes my head detaches from my body. At least the brain part of me. We're going to need some iron. Let's get a little bit more. There we go. So with a little coke, a little iron, and our bricks. And a hole in the ground. Just like we did the pattern of the other one. A 3x3. There we go. Trusty engineer's hammer. A little baptastic action. Throw in some coke, throw in some iron. Animation happens and the cooking commences. This thing's gonna make us steel. Now, we did learn there's an easier way with mechanism. Remember, mechanism always rules. But we're going to let that happen because that's going to allow us to make the better blast furnace. Now, once you get the better blast furnace and it's fully upgraded with the heat, it's pretty darn quick. But, I mean, you really got to get it upgraded for all that to happen. Now, one thing I did forget that I wanted to do while we were out here was grab that drum of creosote. There we go. Since we're not cooking anything in there right now at the moment anyway, I just want to bring this in here to make our lives easier, because we need to make some treated wood. Now you would think, hey, that's just a chest right now. Well, we're going to take some of that creosote and we're going to put it here in the middle. And now we get treated wood. Unfortunately, we got to do this a few times. So let me make these up and I'll get back with you. Alright, we got our 64 treated wood planks. So we're going to set that up here. Now the next thing we're going to do is nothing to do with immersive engineering, because you know I got shiny object syndrome and like to bounce around all over the place. I had to use these guys to cook up a bunch of netherrack and a bunch of clay in order to get that oven going over there. And God, they're slow. I'm tired of them being slow. So we're going to do some upgrades. And now we've done these before, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. But what we're going to use this time is the processing speed upgrades. Now remember over here, we did the excitation field limiter. But this time we're going to do the processing speed, because we want these things faster. So just remember, grab your upgrade kit, bap them, and the corners change. And it tells you block upgraded successfully. Then we're going to take our speed upgrades and drop them in. Now these guys should be quite a bit better at doing what it is that they do. So if I take me some clay. Actually, I got so much clay from all those stinking Kindrel Knights. Let's just cook them up too. Oh yeah, so much better. Oh, so much better. Yes, yes please. Let's get that going. I like all of my bricks down here. You gotta have order, man. You gotta have order around the place. Oh, it's already getting dark again. Y'all remember last episode, Batty came and woke us up, so we ain't gonna let it get too deep into the night. Get our sleep on. Now, I think what we're gonna do now is, for what I want to make in immersive engineering, of course, one of the main things you need is treated wood. Now, we have a source of that, you know, having that creosote oil. So that's good. Another thing you have to make quite a lot of, I can't remember the name of it because, you know, brain damage. Why am I not finding this? It's standing right in front of my face. Dadgummit. Alright. One of the other things we make a ton of are these iron mechanical components. Now these guys take 4 iron and a copper if you do it in a crafting grid. But if you do it in an engineer's workbench instead, you can get away with 2 iron, which is going to save you 2 iron ingots for every one of these you make. And you do make quite a few of these through the course. But we need that engineer's workbench, and we need an engineer's blueprint. Specifically the one for crafting components, which has iron mechanical components, steel mechanical components, and vacuum tubes. So let's start with that, because I've got it laid out here on the ground. Some copper, some aluminum, and some iron. Some blue dye. We're going to use lapis instead. And paper. Gives us that crafting components blueprint. Bam. There we go. Now, let's also get our engineer's workbench, which is treated wood, which is why we did our treated wood, a workbench, and a fence. Now, a fence is just made the normal way, but you got to use treated wood and treated sticks. So let's make us some sticks. There we go. And there's our fence. Then we need a crafting bench, just the old bog standard crafting bench. So I don't want to waste our treated wood on that. So there we go, crafting bench, fence, and planks. Done. Engineer's workbench. Ain't that sweet? Boom. Now, if we throw our blueprint up here, it says you can make these. Give me 2 iron plate and 1 copper ingot. So that's going to save us resources. And I love saving resources. Anytime I can. Anytime I can save myself a little bit of mining, I'm all for that. Let's go ahead and make 2 of these bad boys. Now, to make our plate, just like we did with IC2 over there, if you don't throw it all out on the ground like I did, you can just use your engineer's hammer and get your 4 plates. But like IC2, it will use durability. Now, this hammer's better. So, hint, hint, if you're going to do IC2 in this pack, just use your engineer's hammer from Immersive Engineering. Sometimes you do get a little glitch. That I've noticed that in not just Immersive Engineering, but I've noticed it happen in the crafting grid as well. You know, where it glitches a little bit and things don't show in the right place. Just leave out of it and come back and it'll show up. So there you go. So we've made some iron mechanical components and we saved on resources, which is awesome. Now I want to make one of these vacuum tubes as well, because we're going to use these too. So I need some glass, copper wire, and redstone. All right. So glass, we should have that down here. And redstone we've got in here. And copper wire. Do I have any of that already made up? Probably not. Oh. Now I wonder, will this work? Let's see. Is it compatible? Is it cross-compatible? So we need, yep, 1 redstone each. I want to make 2 of them. 1 glass each and copper wire each. Bam. It is not. Well, ain't that a rip? So we're going to have to do it the Immersive Engineering way, because the IC2 copper cables is not compatible. Wah, 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 wah. Ain't that a rip? Oh well. So, just like with IC2, Immersive Engineering has wire cutters, or you can just use bog standard shears. Now if you see these wire cutters, they're cheaper, so cheaper is good, because you only use 1 iron instead of 2 like you would with shears. And I don't remember if these have to be treated sticks. No, these can be any old bog standard sticks. So let's get us a couple stickos. Stickity, stickity. Bam. Now, let's get a copper plate, which we can do with our engineer's hammer. Then we can take our cutters, and unlike IC2, in one place where Immersive Engineering is not so good, you only get 1 wire out of an entire ingot, where IC2 you got 2. So rip off. So I gotta do 4 more of those things. Dang it. Well, 3 more of those things, I guess. There we go. And there we go. Now we can do, well, we can make 6 of these guys. So 3 each. There we go. Now, give me a minute to get a couple other things together, and I will come back with you and show you where we're going to take this. Actually, let's real quick check out our steel production. before we leave and just see what we got. Oh yeah, already got 12 steel, and we're getting some slag, which can be used for other things down the road. So give me a minute, let me get a few things together, and I'll be right back. Alright folks, I'm back. I've been doing some constructorating. One of the things I keep hearing from others who've been playing this pack is, Oblyx, I'm playing with the Spice of Life, and there's really not any good auto farms in this pack. I pretty much have to plan them and come down here and, whack them myself. There is the actually additions farmer. We can take a look at that. It's that guy right there. Pretty easy to make. And it does harvest in a 9x9 area, but it's, not super great. And to that, as far as not being any good farmers in this pack, I say hogwash. You just don't know where to look. So let me show you where to look. And of course, we're going to stay within our theme today of immersive engineering. Now, this is a device I don't think I've ever seen anyone in a YouTube video actually use. Now, that's not to say somebody hasn't. I'm sure there's people out there that have. But I've never actually seen it to my recollection. Thinking back. But it is an awesome device. Absolutely gobsmacking awesome. So more people should use it. That's just all there is to it. It is called the Garden Cloche, or Cloche, or I don't know. And it's easy to make. You saw us make the vacuum tubes earlier. You saw us make the iron mechanical components earlier, and the treated wood. Add some glass to that, you got garden cloches. There's 2 of them. Bam. These guys, let me tell you, they do work. And they are awesome. And they look really cool. I mean, look at that. How awesome is that? So, to make these guys work, you do have to feed them with water. Well, what's our favorite tool for water? Splashy, splashy. The kitchen sink, of course. We talked about that before. Now, y'all know my love for taking one mod and mixing it with another. Why should I be forced to stay the same? To do everything within one mod. You could absolutely do everything within immersive engineering. But man, I love me some kitchen sink. And I love me some mechanism pipes. So why not mix them all together? So, you saw us configure this to pull from the sink. Now it's feeding into our cloches. And I'm going to call them cloches. I don't care what they're called. We're going to stick some water up in here. We see that interface. The water has filled up. Now, we need to get them some power. And power comes in over here. Now, with mechanism, this isn't mechanism. With immersive engineering, you look for the little gold points on your machines. There's one right there. There's one right there. Those are places you can stick power in. And if you look way up there, you can see some on the top too. Them's the ones we goins to use. So we don't need any more of that. We'll use this as a scaffold block here. Get up here and boop, 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 boop. And there we go. Now we have power. Now notice it says KIF, so 16,000 IF. Immersive engineering uses IF instead of RF. you know, whatevs. It's neither here nor there to us. Our lovely mechanism pipes can handle it either way. So I do like to switch these over. It's not really necessary, but I do like to get them switched over to the right mode and push mode there. And as you can see, we're full on go-go juice. We're full on water. I'm going to add a piece of dirt in the bottom. And you know what? Just for giggles and to show you what can be done and how amazing these things truly are, I'm going to add sand into the bottom of the other one. There we go. Dirt and sand. Dirt and sand. Sand and dirt. Sand and dirt. Da, 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 da. So, these things are pretty much ready to go. We need to set an output on them so that they can spit their giblets out into the world. Now, to do that, we could use more mechanism pipes, but I'm going to use these conveyors for mechanism. You saw it was just redstone, some iron, and some leather. You could also use rubber. Hey, what mod gave us rubber? Oh yeah, I seem to remember that. The reason I'm going to use these is not because they're better, because they look cool, and that's it. Yeah, that's why they're awesome. I think I want to. You know what I want to do? Just now, this stuff is not gonna stay here. I'm just slapping it here because I want to show you, and they're awesome. And yeah, it just is gonna be what it is. Remind me to stick that torch back down there. I don't want no baddies spawning up in here. I got enough headache with baddies. So we'll stick that down. I want to put a space in between these two guys just because aesthetics, even though we're doing a little temporary setup here. This is gonna move us. Can I do this before? Nope. Nope, I cannot. Pick it up. Let me up. Here's a hint. If you hold shift on these things, they'll leave you be. There we go. Again, not necessary. I just finicky about liking things to be proper. So give that a minute to actually render. You saw it. The one probe up there was showing it had all its power, but it wasn't showing in here. You just got to give it a second to render in properly. So let's get our scaffolding back and get these down here. Now, if you accidentally point these in the wrong way, don't stress about it. You see how there's an arrow on the ground that tells you which way it's going to go. If you get it in the wrong way, say you wanted it going that way, but you got it this way instead, don't stress. Just take your hammer and stop. Hammer time. Bap it, and you move it. No biggie. You can go any direction you want. If you shift, it'll raise and lower. So you can do that too. So I want these guys to go into one another like so. And we're going to turn this guy the right direction. The reason I want to do that is because I want them all to go, all the outputs to go into that right there. We've got our cloches set up. They're getting water. They're getting power. Now, this is an unnecessary step. It just makes things faster if you throw in some bone meal. And you want to do this before you put your plants in there, because after you put the plant in there, well, if you look at this meter right here, this is your fertilizer. Right now, see how it says growth modifier 1? With this bone meal, it's going to go to growth modifier 1.25. if I left it out and put a plant in, it would go all the way to the top at 1.0 and have to go all the way to the bottom before it would use fertilizer, even if I put it in. So if you put it in first, it'll load up at 1.25 and let you go. So let's get some plants to grow. Oops, helps if I go in the right one. Y'all see a cactus in here? I could swear I'll harvest some cactus. There's a cactus. I don't need no cactus. I just want to show you can do it too high. And let's get some, what the heck, industrial hemp. You know what? No, let's don't. We got a ton of industrial hemp. Let's get some food. Folks want to eat. How about some taters? Where's my taters? There's my taters. So let's get a tater. Now these things are awesome. They can grow dang near everything. So we slap our cactus on there. We watch it go up. And boop, harvest. Grows up. And boop, harvest. Look how ridiculously fast this is. Let's throw a tater in there and get some taters growing. Taters. We're going to bake it some taters. Look at that. Look how just insanely quick these cloches are. Unfreaking believable. It's amazing. And they can grow dang near every crop. You know, dang near anything in the game. Not 100%, but real close. You know, you want to grow some canola to power your actually additions generators. Pop your canola in there. And it'll chuck that along too. Boop, there's your canola. At a super speed. Oh man, I'm in desperate need of paper. Well, take you one reed. Pop it in there. And boop, you're ready to go. Look at that. Absolutely unbelievable. So super cool. Y'all know where I'm going with this, right? Y'all know what's what? Oh yeah. Yeah, we can. Pull that sand out. Pull that out. Bam, bam. You want the warts? You got the warts. And you probably ought to go see a doctor about that. Look at that. Just 24 cactus that fast. Sheesh. It's amazing. It's just amazing. I mean, you think that can't run your oil producing canola factory? Yeah, I bet it can. Just so impressive. You know what? Let's see. Can it do... I haven't tried this. Let's see if we can do our fluffy puffs. This is silenced gems. This is a whole different thing. Let's see if it can do that. Ah, fail. No silenced gems. What about corn? From Slurpee's Dongles. We'll give that a shot. And how about Natura? We'll try those too. Now these are the more weird ones that you're probably not going to want to do anyway. Yeah, these don't go in there. So, there you go, folks. We've got automated garden cloches producing ridiculous amount of crops. For all those that keep telling me there's no good automated farms in this pack, get stuffed. There you go. Make you some cloches. And you're good to go. Look at all this ridiculousness. I mean, look how fast this is. It's just amazing. You know, you make one cloche for each crop, and you're going to be set for life. You know, I wouldn't even do that. I'd make like 10 cloches and then just rotate them out. You know, once you get a couple thousand of each crop, you're pretty much done. You don't need any more. So, I mean... Look at this. You want to eat steak? There you go. There's your wheat. So, that's all I got time for today, folks. But I sure do appreciate you coming and hanging out with me, as always. taking a look at our garden cloches, feeding me some wheat, and expanding on our immersive engineering. As always, thanks for coming out. If you think I deserve a like, I sure would appreciate it. And let me know how you think I'm doing down there in the down below. I love hearing from you guys, and I always respond. So, until next time, get out there and make some noise. See ya!